I know that some people say don't use any type of dictionary, don't use any type of thing like Google Translate to help you learn a language and all of that. But, what's amazing is, and I really like this. I don't know if you can even see this book, but I really like this because this book is over probably around over 480 pages or something like that. It starts at the real book starts at page 13 and then it ends at page 512. But then there's those little pages that are blank. So I'm not trying to count those pages. So I think it's over like 480 pages or so. And I picked this book up and I'm like, I want to read it. And it's been really interesting talking about Christian education and things like that. But what I want to say is that when I started my first Spanish book, reading El Camino a Cristo, I needed to use a dictionary and I used Google Translate. That was a big thing that I needed. But now when I'm reading this, I'm not using electronic copy. I'm actually reading a paper, this in paper, and I have probably around 90% comprehension of what I'm reading. And so occasionally I use Google Translate to help me, but I go, I might read two something pages or more without using Google Translate. Or if I use it on a page, I might be looking up like one word or two words or something like that, or a phrase, maybe sometimes half of a sentence. But that's a lot different than how I was using Google Translate to basically almost translate every single sentence in when I was reading El Camino Cristo. So I believe by God's grace I've come a long way. And what I would say is that I have a lot wider understanding of vocabulary that helps me to not have to use Google Translate as much. And I think that sometimes we can put the cart before the horse. And yes, there can be that time where you might not use a translator as much, but I think that time comes when you have a wider vocabulary. So when you don't have that and you're not using, maybe not trying to read a book that is really centered for beginners, you're trying to read like a native level book, then you're going to probably need to be using a dictionary or something that's going to give you the understanding of what the words mean. And if you don't agree with that or believe that, try to actually read a book like this and from day one and see if it's going to be easy to do that without a dictionary. So I'm not opposed to using a dictionary or anything like that. That has been helpful for myself, and but now I'm having a wider knowledge in Spanish that allows me to continue to read sometimes without a dictionary and still have a good amount of comprehension.